So here is Bernie introducing the crowd to FDR's speech, which he gave, and I think we play it on, I think, Labor Day, about the four freedoms. And here is Bernie introducing the audience to that speech by FDR.
Now, in 1944, in his State of the Union speech, President Roosevelt outlined what he called a second Bill of Rights. You're all familiar with our Bill of Rights. And what Roosevelt outlined was what he called a second Bill of Rights. This is, in my view, one of the more important speeches ever made by a president. But unfortunately, it has not gotten the attention that it deserves. So I'm going to give it some attention today. In his remarkable speech, this is what Roosevelt stated, and I quote, "We have come to a clear realization of the fact that true individual freedom cannot exist without economic security and independence. Necessitous men," and we would add women, "are not free men and women," end of quote. In other words, real freedom must include economic security. That was Roosevelt's vision 70 years ago. It is my vision today. It is a vision that we have not yet achieved, and it is time that we did.
So there you have it, Cliff. I mean, that's an argument that we make on this program quite a bit, too, particularly when we hear from libertarians who call in talking about how much they love freedom and how much they love liberty. The definition of freedom to someone like FDR, to Bernie Sanders, is actually enabling citizens to pursue what they want to pursue without having to feel like they can't feed their kids, or they can't get health care, or they don't have a place to sleep. And
freedom from starvation, as opposed to the libertarian definition, which would be freedom to starve.
Indeed.
So it's kind of, it's all, and we've allowed the right, I mean, libertarians particularly, but the right in general, to kind of completely run away with the terms freedom and liberty and apply them to everything they say, where quite often, it could go either way, and more often than that, there's no justification for their being able to use those terms. So it would be good if we were to get back to explaining what we really believe, and I think what Bernie Sanders did is very smart, because he's putting himself in the tradition, obviously, of one of our greatest presidents, and certainly, I think many people would say the greatest Democratic president, and a tradition that you're right, which is when FDR shifted the culture of what was allowed immeasurably from the 20s, which was a period of a bit of sort of, stagnation after some progressive reforms in the 19-teens and the rest, and he moved what was acceptable and what was expected. And starting, really in the 70s, but then with Reagan, it was moved back so that, we're calling him a social democrat, but a lot of what he stands for are very similar things to what FDR was fighting for and pushing for.